Hi everyone! A couple months ago I made a let's play with my first impressions of the game Chrono, and it kinda mishmashed into a how to play, and I can think I could do one better and make the video a lot more structured, where we are gonna focus on how you can get into the game rather than, all the details about the game. That's the one thing. And the second thing is that the game changed since then. More animations, the game looks more polished. Also, I think I forgot to say that the game is still in alpha, so visuals might change. Not only might, they will change. The game is gonna look better, more polished. Rules, I'm not sure if any rules are gonna change per se. We've had some change so far, like the hand size or the deplete to action change, which we're not gonna talk too much in this video because it's a very, specific thing which rarely comes up. But yeah, okay. Let's actually go to the video. The game is gonna be easier for you if you've played card games, digital card games before, like MTG, LOR. But again, the game is not awfully complicated to get into. I will immediately pause here so I can explain to you what's happening on the board. Let's start with the bottom right corner where you see these two cards here. There are your divers. They are cards which are going to be available to you throughout the entire game, and you can only add one copy of them in your deck. Then we go to the left where it's your hand, you draw one extra card every turn, and the hand size is 10, used to be 12, now it's 10. Then we continue to the left where you see your nameplate, you can emote your deck, but also you see that skull emote. When you press it, it's gonna give you some extra information which can be useful in certain situations. For example, the number of cards in your hand if you can't count like me, the number of cards in your graveyard, what cards are in your graveyard, how many cards are left in your deck, and the same information for your opponent as well. Then we go up to the blue energy crystal-like thingy, which if you hover, it's gonna show you calculations immediately in battle. Again, if you can't count, very useful. On the top, same thing for your opponent. You know their divers, you can see how many cards they have in your hand, same stuff. Then we go to the right, where we have this beautiful construct, where you see the health of both you and your opponent. Here you see the mana, and there are these three little dots on top of the big ones, which are signalizing for your reserved energy, or spell mana, as I like to call it. You can have up to 3, and it can be used only to play spells. Every unused mana which you have at the end of your turn is gonna go as a reserved energy, or reserved mana, or spell mana, or I'm gonna mix these a lot, aren't I? Turn 1 you have 1 mana, turn 2, 2 mana, etc. The maximum is 10. There are ways in which you can ramp, but let's not get too specific. Every game starts with you mulliganing. Pretty similar to other card games. You can redraw every card which you don't want in your hand once. Here, turn 1, you can see the enemy playing a unit. You can always right-click on a card, and on the left it's gonna give you the important information which you need, if it has certain keywords, what effects does it have, the stats. Immortalize is basically a level up. Every single unit has a immortalization condition, which if it's met, it's gonna become stronger. Now, depending on the card, it can be like a game-winning thing, or it can be just like a small stat bonus. You have one combat phase in the entire turn. Whoever has the attack token at the beginning of the game is gonna have attack token on turn 1. Turn 2 is gonna be your opponent. Activate is a keyword. You can use his effect once per turn. When you press the card, the effect is gonna happen, but the card can't go into combat after that. Basically, it's gonna become stunned. But very, very important distinction is that you can first attack, then the attack can finish, and then you can activate the effect. There is no summoning sickness in the game or anything like that. You can play the unit and it can attack unless it specifically states that it is stunned or depleted when it's being played. Every unit can block. There are different keywords which can manipulate the combat. You can drag certain blockers up your choice. Here we see a chain starting when our opponent uses the activation effect of the Bloodline Tracker. Now here we don't have mana or any way to really answer to this, but we have the priority, which means that we can use a fast speed or immediate speed action. There are 3 speeds of actions. Fast, you can play it at any time, it goes into the stack. Immediate, it happens immediately, and there is no way for anybody to respond to it. And there is also slow speed, which means that you can only use them to start a stack when it's your turn. And this animation here, which we just saw, is what we were talking about, a unit immortalized, because we met the immortalization condition of her striking the enemy. She did, good job, she becomes stronger. Here we can see our opponent finally using a spell, Blood Bolt, which is a fast speed spell which deals damage to a unit, starting the stack, and now we have the initiative so we can answer with a fast speed or an immediate speed spell, or we can use the activate effect of a unit. Now we're gonna use Bloom, immediate speed, buffs a unit, and we're gonna save our guy. Another combat here, nothing too spectacular. Here you can assign blockers. Basically, any single of the units could block except the Actender because she used her activate effect. And now, when we finish this turn, that one unused mana which we have is gonna transfer to spell mana or reserved energy, which we can use to only and only play spells. Again, we keep on building the board, we keep on playing units, they become bigger. Here we saw a kind of a big chain happening. We continue attacking, our opponent's unit is stunned so we can attack with everything, and here he finally is gonna kill our guy because we ran out of ways to protect him. It's fine, we are winning on board quite convincingly right now. And this is pretty much the flow of the game at this point. He plays units, we control the board, and he needs quite the miracle to come back from this position, to be honest with you. Here we could see the overpower keyword. Any access damage goes into our core. Now here he played Enlightened Refugee, which shifts the timeline to Erudite Beacon, which basically means that at round end, both of us are gonna draw an extra card. Now every single syndicate has different timelines, some of them deal damage, some of them heal at the end of the turn. Only one timeline can be active at a time, and that's an important thing because here we can use Send the Prey, do anything and change the timeline immediately to Abundant Growth, which means every single unit grows to +1/+1, and now we are pretty much gonna win the game. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire game. Really quick overview of the game. There are a lot more things which happens. There are a lot more interactions and things which you need to learn to become better at the game. But I think this is going to give you a solid ground to actually start playing the game. I will link a link down in the description of the video of the site of the game itself, where the information is much more detailed. Again, you can go and watch some of my other videos. You can ask me anything which you want. And yeah, the closer. Also, something which I forgot to say is that the game is still in alpha. Again, I want to rephrase that the visuals are subject to change. They will improve surely, and we are getting closer and closer to beta. And I think that this video could be useful for potential new players which want to go into the game. So thanks to everybody who watched the video so far. I hope it was useful, and bye from me.